Hay started calling it the harvesting. Every night at 3:14 a.m., across cities and towns, a silver path uncoiled, winding through homes, offices, schools. And people followed. Not because they wanted to. Because they had to. Grief had become a summons. Regret, a magnet. The Veiled One stood at every junction. Silhouetted by the trail's glow, arms raised, veil of hands trembling. And one by one, the walkers stepped through it. Vanishing from this world. I stopped counting how many disappeared. Government said it was mass psychosis. Religious leaders called it rapture. But we knew better. It was a reckoning. And it wanted me next. That night, Amira didn't wake up. She wasn't dead. She was absent. Breathing. Eyes open. But no light inside. She stood in my living room, barefoot, staring at the wall. A silver line ran across the hardwood. The path. It had come inside. And Amira's foot was already on it. I stepped between her and the trail. Amira. Nothing. Please. Her lips moved. Just one word, sorry. She stepped around me. Onto the path. And was gone. I screamed until I couldn't breathe. Then I sat on the floor, shaking. The path was pulsing now. It had taken everyone. And it wanted me to follow. But I wasn't like the others. I'd already walked once. So why did it want me again? Unless I left something behind. I packed nothing. Just walked. 3:14 a.m. again. The path shone bright, silver and humming. Not warm. Not cold. Just there. Each step took me deeper. Away from roads. Away from trees. Into the veil. I emerged into a mirror of the world. Skyscrapers made of bone. Rivers flowing backward, filled with whispered names. And overhead, a sky of faces. Grieving. Weeping. Watching. They weren't stars. They were souls. I kept walking. And at the center of the path, the Cathedral of Mourning. A structure stitched from memory and guilt. Columns carved with apology. Windows made of tears frozen mid-fall. And waiting on the altar. Amira. Alive. But bound in silver chains that pulsed with sorrow. The Veiled One stood beside her. Silent. Waiting. You came, Amira whispered. Her voice sounded aged. Like it had traveled far just to reach me. She's still in there, I said. Let her go. The Veiled One raised its hand. The veil of hands opened. And inside the hole of its face, I saw my father. Not his image. His soul. Twisting. Begging. Walk again, Eli. Let it end. I realized what it wanted, not just memory. Not just grief. It wanted me to take his place. Every step I'd walked before was a rehearsal. Now it wanted permanence. I looked at Amira. Then at the Veiled One. And said, take me. Chains unlatched from her arms. Wrapped around mine. They were cold with love. And hot with guilt. The Veiled One stepped forward. And its veil of hands gripped my face. I saw everything. My mother's last breath. The friends I abandoned. The cries I ignored. The words I never said. The weight of every person I failed crushed me. And then. I smiled. Because I had one truth left to give. I remember you all. The path shattered. Light exploded outward. The cathedral trembled, then collapsed into ash. Amira was pulled backward, thrown into the real world. I felt myself breaking. But in the breaking, I became still. I stood now where the veiled one had stood. A veil of hands rested on my shoulders. The path was quiet. No more walkers. No more harvest. Because someone had finally stayed. By choice. I was the last soul on the mourner's path. Its keeper. And through me, grief would find peace, not punishment. Some say the disappearances stopped after that. Others say the path still shows up in quiet towns, but now, it leads people to forgiveness instead of loss. All I know is this: every night, I stand beneath a silver sky. Waiting. Not for the guilty. But for the forgotten. To walk home.